Okay, cool. I think people have joined the call or started joining the call. Welcome to Free Training Fridays. Today we're going to be talking about the new POS V2 front end or V2 POS panel. We're going to be going through smart notifications on the new system, club memberships, creating a club membership from an order, making the order the current club shipment, quick pay, inventory adjustments, and then at the end, we'll have time for any questions. If you have questions, you can also add them to the chat, or at the end, we'll invite you to unmute yourself and ask them live. We're also joined by the president of Commerce7, Andrew Campus, on the call, who will be able to assist in answering any questions you might have. So let's begin with creating a smart notification. Smart notifications are great ways to let your front of house staff know important things to do with new customers or in certain situations. So let's go ahead and create a smart notification around when a customer isn't signed up for a club yet, and it will prompt your front of house staff to maybe push to sign them up for a club. We'll go to settings, notices, and click add a new notice. Here we'll type maybe sign for a club, and we'll make it a smart POS notification. We'll make the color red. And here you can set the start date and the end date for these smart POS notifications. Down below, now we get to the conditions section. Here you can decide the conditions that will determine whether or not the smart POS notification is shown. Here we'll make it if the customer is not equal to a current club member. We want this notification to show, prompting the front of house staff to perhaps push them to sign up for a club or let them know about the club options. We'll click Save Notice now. Awesome. So we can see here all of the other smart notifications, and the smart notifications will display based on this ordering, determining which one will come up and also following the conditions that are set. So now let's hop over into the new V2 POS. Here we can start a new cart for a customer. Let's add a customer here. Right away, we can see our new smart notification here. It's prompting the front of house staff, letting them know that they're not a club member and maybe it's time to push them to sign up for a club. Let's check out for this customer. So I'll add a couple bottles here. And here within the POS, very easily, we can click the club button to add a club membership for this customer. We'll select the Nouveau Club. Frequency will be 1 month. And here we also have the toggle to determine whether or not we want to mark this current order as the club member's first shipment. If we uncheck this, then they will just process like a normal club member. Otherwise, with it checked, their next shipment will come out in the club package 1 month from now, and this will be their first shipment. We can decide pickup for the customer, and we'll click Add Membership. Awesome. As we can see here, it's all fit right into this POS. Super easy to access and super easy to view. Now we'll use the quick pay features. We can click quick pay here, and it takes us easily to the 3 different options. First is card on file, where we can see since the customer already has their card, we can easily charge it directly from the quick pay modal. We can also, if you wanted to use a different card, you could use manual card entry or even cash. Let's use card on file for now. You can add a tip. And just like that, the order has been completed. The email has been sent to the email account on file, and all their information from the transaction is right here. If we click on completed order, we can go see that the order was now created through the channel of club, and the bottles that they ordered are all right here. We can also see that the new club membership has been created for the customer right here for the Nouveau Club. So now they're signed up as a new club member, and we'll get new club shipments in the future. Going back to the POS, we also have new functionality surrounding changing inventory levels. If you long press on an item, it'll bring up, oh, that item has inventory turned off. Here, yeah. If you long press on an item, it'll bring up a modal that allows you to adjust the inventory for the product.
That's the wrong screen, buddy.
Sorry. Or no. There we go. Yeah, long pressing on the item brings up the inventory amounts where you can see all the current inventory and you can make adjustments, including notes when you make the adjustment, which variants you want, inventory locations, and then make all those adjustments here. Yeah, so that sort of covers the main big areas that I was hoping to talk about regarding the new POS v2, but we'd love to open it up now to questions that you might have surrounding the functionality or anything new with the platform.
Do we want to go over the questions in the chat first, Nathan?
Yeah, so some questions in the chat here. Can EMV devices be used? Yeah, we have compatible EMV devices for the new front end. The compatible EMV devices doesn't change, so the ones that are compatible for V1 will still be available for V2 POS.
Let's dive into that further. So if you're using Commerce7 payments and you saw Nathan create that club membership, the EMV device, if he paid on an EMV device, we'd actually capture the token on the EMV device, and that club member would use the credit card that was used on that EMV device. That's available for Commerce7 payments and for Stripe. Today, the V2 POS, we haven't made it compatible yet with Point, but we're about to in the next month or two. We won't be able to do that with Point because that functionality is not available inside Point itself, but Commerce7 payments and stuff will capture the EMV token through there.
Awesome. Kirsten, you want to read out the next question?
Yeah. Longer one. When using one-click club signup, if you choose to mark the order as first shipment, what channel will the order be processed through, POS or club? So that will be a club transaction if you process the first transaction as a club shipment after signing up for the club. Where is the sale captured? So the sale will be captured on the POS, but the channel for that transaction record will be recorded as a club transaction. Second question is, when using one-click club signup, if the member chooses to receive their first shipment, does the order have to be the quantity of the club levels they're in? Do the orders, I guess, need to meet the quantity requirements that's been set up on the club package itself?
So the answer to that is no, you don't have to meet the requirements. So let's say you have a club, a 6-bottle club, and you're going to sign them up in the tasting room. It'd be possible to have just 3 bottles. Also, those bottles don't have to be in the club package itself. So any club member that you sign up and process their first shipment from the POS, you do not have to abide by the club package rules on that. You can give them items outside the club package. You could exceed mins and maxes, and it doesn't have to match the minimum number of orders. Our minimum number of bottles.
Sounds good, thank you. Yeah, so really allowing for that flexibility on that first transaction. Third question, when using the one-click club sign up, if the member chooses to receive their first shipment, do they have to receive it using the same delivery method that they have chosen? So for example, if they choose to ship their first club, but are in the tasting room, so they want to pick up that transaction, will that membership be a pickup membership?
No, you can, when you sign up for the club window, I don't know if you want to re-bring that up, Nathan, but when you sign up for a club membership, you could choose, by default, it'll follow, if you have a shipping order.
Oh, we lost you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, damn headphones. If you bring up a club membership, by default, it'll start to pick up. If this order is a pickup, it'll default to shipping if it's shipping, but you can override it on that club membership screen. So if you want to bring up the club membership screen for a second, add anybody here and just hit the club button. So here, by default, this order is a pickup order. So you can see below here that it defaults to pickup. You could change this to shipping. This order will still be a carryout order, like all POS orders, unless you go through the shipping process. But you could set this to a shipping club membership, but the very first order will be a pickup order. So the first shipment in this case will be pickup, but the club membership in the future for future shipments will be shipping. If that makes sense.
That's great. Next question, who has access to adjusting inventory? Is it all user levels?
No, it's just the user levels, same as the admin panel. So you have to be a min user or a min owner. So if you're a POS basic or POS standard, you do not have access to adjust inventory.
So it's respecting the same behavior as what you would get in the admin panel.
That's correct.
When is the QR code rolling out? And then second question, would a tip line automatically pop up in that functionality or that feature when we do roll it out?
We have not decided when QR payments are rolling out. And yes, tips will be available when we do roll out QR payments. And they'll respect your POS profile tipping options.
So if you have a new customer who doesn't have a card on file, do you need to enter the card manually if you're using point devices, Andrew?
Yeah, so point we cannot capture. So we don't have point working with the V2 POS yet. That's going to be a month or so away. But when we do have it working, point does not allow us to capture a token on file. So you will, if you're using point, we'd strongly encourage you to look at Commerce7 payments. You're going to see more and more Commerce7 payment features come out. Point hasn't really had a lot of development done against the point devices in the last few years. And so that's why we're doing our own devices. But you'll need to manually enter a credit card. That's correct if you're using point. But have a conversation with our team about Commerce7 payments. If you're interested, we will, there's a lot of options for you there.
Awesome. Is there a way to track when a certain inventory item was sold last or in general over time? I think our inventory transaction report would be the most comprehensive tracker for inventory movements. So I recommend using that report. You can set a date range to determine where you want to be looking at, and it'll record every single inventory movement that has ever happened at to your inventory levels. Question about no POS. Member called in. Okay, so this sounds like an issue that you've encountered, Nina, with a member calling in.
So let's talk about that for a second. Member called in order to be picked up the following day. I noticed the order was immediately fulfilled. Orders on the POS are immediately fulfilled unless you go and set that order as a pickup. So we have three order delivery methods. We have carry out, that's a typical POS order. You just carry it out the door. We have ship, that's where you set the order to be shipped, and that's going to get fulfilled at a later time. We also have an option for pickup, and that's for pickup at a later time. So you actually have to explicitly mark that order set for pickup if you intend to not fulfill it right away. But about 80 to 90% of orders on our POS today are just carry out. We just walk out the door with them. But if you mark the order as ship or you mark it as pickup, those will be fulfilled at a later date based on however you fulfill your orders.
You can process it from the admin panel as well, and that would be an inbound and be considered a pickup transaction and not carry out. I found the point terminals much easier to use than Ingenico 2500 that I got when switching to Commerce7 payments. Are you planning on upgrading or offering different terminals soon?
Today we have a number of different terminals. We are looking forward to the Move 5000 terminal. The point device is a really nice looking device, but the point has some connectivity issues in that you push an order to it, we hang up, then we wait for it to talk back to our point of sale system. All the new terminals that we have, there's 4 different ones, all have superior connectivity, but they don't look as nice as the point device. We are going to be bringing out more devices here in the future. sometime in March, we should have additional devices available, but we are working on different devices. Harrison, do you know what the latest devices are offhand?
SMP4 and the Ingenico 2500 are the two Ingenico devices we have compatible right now.
There, I could speak to that for the wired as well if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
Sure. So if you want a wired device that connects through Ethernet, the two options are the Verifone MX915 or the Ingenico Lane 3000. And then as Harrison mentioned, for the mobile, the ISMP4 is what we have available for mobile right now. There is the Link 2500. That one is out of stock at the moment.
Cool. Next question is about tastings. We're trying to track and report on tasting experiences at our winery. What do you think is the most effective way to track that and report on it? For pours and tastings, we recommend processing an order on the POS, a $0 transaction, which will deplete the inventory level, and use our tagging feature to tag that transaction as a pour transaction or a breakage transaction, whatever the scenario that you're addressing to deplete that inventory. And then for booking the tasting experiences, a lot of our wineries use our reservation feature to manage that. And kind of those two features in conjunction allows for the managing the reservations for the tasting experiences and then tracking inventory depletions for those. Is there an app in the works for POS, or is it just on the browser for now?
Browser based right now. You can make that go full screen. I don't see us offering an app in the near future. There's issues around offering the app, but so right now it's browser based.
When will Commerce7 payment devices be available? I think this might be referring to this out of stock status of them. Do we have an estimate or?
Seeing as Jennifer's on here, Jennifer, speak to that.
I can speak to that. So for the wired devices that we talked about earlier, those are in stock and available. The Link 2500 is out of stock with no current ETA. The ISMP4, it has been on a slight back order. We are actively sourcing from all different areas. And so we've been seeing those ship out about a week after the order is placed.
Can we exchange our original Commerce7 devices for one of the newer models?
We'll work with you on that. You could reach out, send an email to Jennifer or myself. It's Jennifer@commerce7.com or Andrew@commerce7.com. We'll work with you on that.
Awesome. For Commerce7 reservations, what are the improvements that were touched on in the live updates on Tuesday? What are the differences between Commerce7 and Talk?
So some of the core differences, Talk's a great system. Talk allows for, let's call it a marketplace style reservation. Think of how you go open table, you want Italian food tonight in Vancouver, and they have all these different options. Talk, if you go to explore Talk, you could look for different wineries, stuff like that. That's something that Commerce7 will never have. When you're inside the Talk system, you pull up a customer, it'll show you if they're a club member, it'll show you their tags and different things like that. Talk will push that reservation to Commerce7 as an order, showing the fulfillment date as the reservation date. And so that's what you're getting out of Talk. And inside Commerce7, the reservation systems, So the customer record, it's the same customer record that you're pulling up inside the POS, same customer record that you're accessing the admin. So you get a lot more details around that. You get the actual reservation data pegged to the Commerce7 reservation, so you could see inside your database last visited date, those types of things on there. So as far as the updates that were referred to, these are updates coming this year. We're planning on having the reservations and POS be one app as opposed to two apps right now. So it's going to make it easier jumping between them. We see, especially when we go to more QR features, where having table numbers, matching the table and the customer all kind of being in one set of data around there. Andrea, who I think is on here, is working on different things around what that will look like in the future, but all of that's coming sometime later this year.
Thank you. Next question is, can you walk me through how to enter a virtual gift card? So maybe do a transaction if you don't mind, Nathan.
Yeah, do you mean on
gift card as a tender, or are you looking for
like on the front end? Or Jenny, if you want to unmute yourself and maybe give us some more detail about your question.
Thank you so much. We work at a winery, and some of our customers have gift cards that they can pay for their purchases with. And so I wanted to add the particular amount in each of their accounts so that as a form of payment. Is that something that can happen in Commerce7?
As a payment method? Sorry,
Yes, as a payment method.
Yeah, I think if you do a transaction on the POS on the tender screen, there should be
I actually don't think it's an option. If you go into store profile, Andrew, maybe you want to confirm this, but there isn't a way to add a gift card here as the method of payment.
Not here as a method of payment. So you have to, there's no option here to add the gift card as a method of payment right here.
So like save it.
Yeah. So you have to go into store, into gift cards, right? And add, like inside the admin panel, add the gift card for the customer there.
Okay.
Next question. Any chance you'll be allowing to associate more than one customer with a reservation anytime soon? Only being able to attach a reservation to one customer in a group is a major issue with reporting, and the customer don't understand why previous and upcoming visits don't appear in their account records. So linking reservations to multiple customers. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a good feature request, Kirsten. I don't think I've heard that one before when we're sitting in feature request meetings.
Okay. Cool.
Have you?
Yeah, I don't recall having discussed this one in depth. But yeah, we'll definitely pass it along and discuss it further.
Jessica, every Tuesday we have a feature request meeting. Wineries send in features all the time. I normally sit on those meetings. Kirsten often leads that meeting around here, and that's what we look at building. But that's it's a good feature request, and we don't have an answer for you on that.
Is it possible to add tax to a gift card?
No, gift card is just simply a means of, it's just a payment method. So, you buy a $50 gift card, it's redeemable for $50. That $50 can be used for $40 of wine and $10 of tax if you want. But you don't tax a gift card, you tax products.
Okay, sounds good. I think that's all the questions that we have. We'll give everyone a few more minutes if there are more. yeah, that's what's on the list right now.
Colin, go ahead, ask a question. You can
Yeah,
Hey.
go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a question. We had a request to pass a unique charge from Stripe to our compliance and in turn fulfillment software of Ship Compliant. So as you're probably familiar, Andrew, right, when you ping this Stripe API, they have a charge object. In the charge object, there is a unique identifier. Do you know if we were able to get that customization done and passed to Ship Compliant on our orders?
Colin, you must be from One Hope. So Jennifer reported to me yesterday. I thought we do have that done. Apparently it's not working. Jennifer sent me over your email yesterday that's not working. And it's something that I haven't responded to her yet on that. But we do have a customization on Ship Compliant to pass in the tender from Stripe. So your email that you sent to Jennifer did get passed on to me yesterday, and we're reviewing on the product team.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Keep me in touch.
Good. Okay, looks like that's all the questions that we have for today. Thanks everyone for joining. Hope that was helpful. We were able to get some answers, some of your questions answered on the POS or other things. Yeah, appreciate your time and see you all next week.
Everyone.
Thanks.